As far as if you're registered, then sure, you should probably be allowed. But it's just touchy, you know.
Are you recording? Okay.
Yeah, it's just touchy to have that. To know that in your class, like in your lecture class, I guess there's two different scenarios. You know, you could be in a lecture class of like 500 to 600 people, and then you could be in a small class of like 20 to 30. Somebody that somebody in your class, or maybe more than one person, could have a gun on them. It's just it brings a little bit of I don't want to say realism, but just like weird that you're trying to learn, but something there's a gun anywhere from like 5 feet to like 100 feet away from you.
There's always the opportunity.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, in my opinion, I don't think they should. Just for the safety of students, I feel like it's a hazard, and it's a lot of extra things that can happen with situations. Anger can flare up, and you don't want to be under the influence with this type of power in your possession. I feel like it can hurt people in a major way.
Do you agree?
I think it's not a good idea. With guns comes violence, so more guns would be more violence.
What do you say to the people that think that if a shooter comes in and somebody else in the room has a gun, they would be able to prevent a massacre before the cops come or something like that?
I feel like that would add to the massacre rather than prevent it, for the simple fact that stray bullets and bullets don't have a name. So if you haven't been properly trained, as in like a cop, or maybe we should just take our security up to another level, we feel that could happen. But I feel like it's not needed. And it's a bad idea if people do have guns and a shooter does come in. We should just have more security around the campus or whatever.
I feel the same way, and also to add to that, I feel like a lot of people don't think about how hard it actually is to shoot someone. So if someone comes in with a gun, that doesn't mean like just because you have a gun, you're gonna have the mindset to shoot him. Just because pulling that trigger, you have to be insane. So he came in insane, ready to kill. Doesn't mean everybody with another gun is gonna be ready to kill him.
So you definitely would not.
I would not.
If you want to find out any more comments on how I feel about this situation, you can reach out to me on Twitter at DrianB, D-R-I-A-N, the letter B.
Alright, I'm JD_CMB.
Thank you, guys. Do you think students should be allowed to have guns on campus?
I think there should be limitations on who can have guns on campus. I think that if we were to allow students to have guns on campus, it would have to be students who went through a training process and a psychological background check or something, like a psychological training session, and that they have like an approved license from
How would you check on that?
Sorry, what?
If you said limitations, how would you check that student that brought the gun in?
Well, he would have to carry that license on him at all times.
Okay.
That would be the condition of him having a gun on.
Would you feel safer in case of a shooter, knowing that somebody else in your class who passed all those restrictions had a gun?
Yeah, I feel like I could probably trust this person. The guy who has a license and has gone through the training and knows what to do in certain situations, and perhaps protect us from a shooter.
Do you think that if you are allowed students to have guns on campus, that it would increase violence in case somebody was stressed out or something didn't go right, and they just pulled out their gun and that's how they would fix things?
I don't think so. I don't think that would. I don't think that's a factor. I think that, well, as you said, like stress could have an impact on the guy's emotions, but I don't think it will actually affect him into taking out his gun and taking it out on people. I don't think so.
Thank you, Matthew.
I think it should be up to the school to decide that, whether it would be safe for a student to carry a gun around campus. I mean, I think they shouldn't be allowed because it could, you know, if a fight starts, like I feel like that could overcome a big issue. You know, some people can start using the guns around campus, and I just, as a person, I wouldn't be safe. I wouldn't feel safe if someone carried a gun around me.
You wouldn't feel safe?
No.
Right now, UH is in a big debate whether it should allow students on campus. How would you feel if they passed this bill on campus? That anybody could bring, anybody with a license could bring a gun?
Well, I would not feel safe, but if the school allows it, then I think the school should have a lot of control and restrictions on who should be allowed to bring it, and they should monitor to make sure that they're not being used inappropriately, because that could come, that could start other things as well, because I know that U of H has a lot of danger with like potential robbers that come and try to like steal from the students, and what if someone is robbing someone and they kill someone? It can just like create a lot of issues for the school, I think.
Tell me, do you think students should be allowed to have guns on campus? Why or why not?
I don't think they should be allowed.
And why is that?
The reason why is because you never know what's going on with on the person of any ex-person. The same person cannot be expected to be thinking the same way on a daily basis, especially if they have actually the gun with them. So what I think is if they are having a bad day, or it could be misused. Even if the person is good, you never know. At a moment, it's just very easy to take it and do whatever with it. So I don't think it's safe. In my opinion, it's not safe, because you never know what to expect out of a person, even if it has no criminal record or any, could be clean, his record or her record completely, but I don't think so.
What do you say to the people that think that if a shooter came into campus and people were allowed to have guns on campus, they would be able to somehow prevent a massacre or, make the damage less if there were more people on campus with guns? What do you say to them?
That's why we have security. In any instance, I don't think you or me, if we have a gun and somebody else comes shooting up, I really don't think that we're gonna stop that or prevent it. And by hurting others too, when we are in fear, many people don't think in the same way. Many freaked out and then you start shooting just randomly. Others will do nothing, and that's what happens. I don't think that will help at all.
Wait, okay, tell me now, do you think students should be allowed to have guns on campus?
No, absolutely not.
Why not?
Because it wouldn't be safe. We're just students, and this is not like a battlefield or anything like that, And I don't see the reason why you would want to have a gun on campus. It doesn't make sense.
What do you say to the people that think that because we're in a third ward and it's not such a safe area, people will get robbed, and they feel like if they had their gun on campus that...
Their concern makes sense, but I don't think the solution will be for everybody to carry their guns around. It's crazy. It's a crazy idea, and it's not even practical, because when you have your gun with you, you're just in a different mindset. You can use it for anything, for just like a regular argument. It can get out of hand very easily. So,
would you feel safe if there was a shooter on campus and somebody else in your class also happened to have a gun?
So that the other guy in the
prevent it or prevent a massacre.
I'm pretty sure that's the main argument, behind allow, the people who are trying to make this legal for us to have our guns. But it's still, that's not the solution. That's not no.
What do you think is the solution?
I'm not sure. We'll have to work it out, but definitely not for everybody to be able to bring their guns. Can you imagine, how many people, students do we have?
38,000.
38,000. Can you imagine, maybe 5% of those carrying their guns around? Can you? That's crazy. No. I think a solution would be to have to invest more in the HPD that we have over here. Yeah, because I don't see them around a lot. To be honest with you, I think that's your solution. If that doesn't work, then yeah, come and talk to me about guns, but not before we try to make our police presence on campus better. That's the first thing we should think about, and then it's probably something else, and then something else, and then maybe consider guns with students, but not before all these options are out of the question.
Tell me, do you think students should be allowed to have guns on campus?
No. Personally, I wouldn't be the type to carry one around. I wouldn't be able to defend myself, and
I just think it's much easier to commit a violent act if you have a gun on campus, just on hand, rather than not being able to carry one.
What do you think, Michelle?
I think for me it's a simple answer. I think guns facilitate violence. It doesn't stop it. So it just gives an opportunity for more violence to occur.
What do you say to the people that are pro having guns on campus, that they, you know, the Second Amendment allows them to carry a gun, just concealed handgun on campus? What do you say to that?
I mean, I just think, everyone has a different way of viewing things, but I just think they're more likely to use a gun also. So it's also an increased risk to all the other people that
It's like if
wouldn't.
they have them, they'll use them. If they don't, they can't.
Yeah.
I think it is, like Joanne said, a perspective, personal perspective. For me, I think Second Amendment, the right to bear arms, I guess when they made that, they put that in place if they, they had in mind if they were to protect themselves from the government, not to just have the right to bear arms and do what they want. So we all know the Constitution is a living, breathing document, and I think the way our founding fathers meant it is not the way that it's being implemented today.
I think if the law passes and people do bring their guns on campus, you wouldn't feel as safe.
Just the knowledge.
Just the knowledge.
Just the knowledge that.
It would scare you a bit.
Yeah.
And knowing that more people might have guns.
Because right now you just assume nobody has a gun, except the shooter if they come in, and the cops. But no, if somebody else brings it, and maybe they're stressed, like you said, or they're trying to play here, but they don't really know what they're doing.
Yeah.
It's kind of scary thought.
Well, I don't know. It'd be tough to say when somebody's stressed, because you would have to be put in a very specific position where, like, you would hope nobody would get so stressed about like some homework or a paper that this paper, gra 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 gra, this test, gra 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 gra.
But you're a psychology major. I mean, you know that happens.
Yeah.
There's always like that one person.